Hey, what's happening? This is your favorite sports podcast. It's the BadCatz in the house. So we got 3 BadCatz. Starting with, ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated, undisputed, under 21 sports talk champ in the world. My man. It started off in Massachusetts. It's governed Rhode Island, okay? And now it's the world.
Jeez.
Rowdy. Finally I got a smile from you, Birdie. Finally I got a fucking smile. It took me all fucking night.
Yeah, you want to know
to get
why?
a smile out of you. What?
Because I'm going to be shoveling snow all day tomorrow. That's why.
Hey, the weather people have been wrong before. They'll be wrong
I don't
again.
think they're going to be wrong on this one. They're already upgrading the totals.
Let me tell you, I trust John Giorgi as much as I trust... who's that?
Benedict Arnold.
Benedict. Oh God! What are we doing here? Well, I want to congratulate us on what I thought was a fantastic football season. Okay, I think we came here. I think we missed 1 week maybe because of Christmas or something like that, or did we even miss an NFL week?
1 week I think because of Christmas / COVID.
Slash COVID, and I think we did an unbelievable job. We have some exciting things happen here. I believe next week we're going to start to work on our pilot. And remember what I told you about what's happening on YouTube now, right? About the crime, culture, sports, neighborhood crime, rap,
inner city,
all of that fused. So I put together my list of who I thought were some athletes that stayed a little too close
to where they're from,
to the neighborhood, and it turned around and it and it burned them certainly. Ray Lewis and the situation he got into at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
that was some heavy stuff.
Yeah,
with high school teammates, and even though I thought that they were innocent of murder. Some of the background story to that is very interesting about Roger Goodell and the FBI and NFL security, and we know the layers of professional sports security. It is as much more intense as you could ever possibly imagine. Okay, they warned him about some of the people that he was hanging around with,
associations, and
he says, well. This guy that you say is the most dangerous in Dade County was my high school quarterback. And this guy you said that was so more dangerous was my free safety. So there is a line there, okay? And it often gets confused, and it's understandable that it gets confused. We're going to talk about Jalen Rose getting caught in a trap house when he came down, when he was on break from the Fab Five in University of Michigan. He got caught up in some type of, federal investigation. But what they failed to realize, and it was the Black Mafia family, which has that show that's very popular on Stars now. What they didn't realize, okay? You know who the BMF is, right? Riley, are you familiar with those guys?
I think so.
Demetrius Flannery and the brothers. Well,
out of Detroit.
Out of Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, the house that he was in happened to be around the blocks from where he lived. And as a college kid, it's cold in Detroit. So he was at the house drinking, partying with girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're doing their thing on the side. He's like, man, I don't look at it as a trap house. I look at this house where I can get away from my mother, okay, and hang out with the fellas and do the stuff. So the line gets blurred. Sebastian Telfair getting caught with all kinds of machine guns. The point guard that was a can't-miss prospect in New York City.
Yeah, I remember that name.
We're gonna talk about Carlton Hines. We're gonna talk about talk about some other stuff, and we're gonna try to put together a 9-show pilot and shop it around the digital media world. So we got some exciting things happening here, and we're looking forward to getting there and doing that. Some fascinating stories about, I believe, a gentleman by the name of Lee Duffy, who was an up-and-coming MMA star out of England, who him and his crew pulled off one of the biggest bank robberies in the history of Europe, $44 million that they got. The two Australian brothers that were track Olympic medalists out of Australia that hooked up together and ran one of the biggest cocaine rings in the history of Australia. I mean, the list just went on and on and on and on and on. And, it should be, interesting copy. That is for sure. Supposedly, we're looking to try to get Tommy Hitman Herren's
Really?
on one of the first shows about that. So my partner is going to be from Detroit, okay, and we're going to have an open panel with whoever from our crew wants to be in it and participate in it. It's going to be interesting. So.
Tommy Hearns, the Motor City Cobra.
The Motor City
that's
Cobra,
a name
yeah.
from the past.
Yeah. Tommy Hearns and his involvement with one of the biggest drug lords in the history of Detroit. Again, but it's a childhood best friend. You know what I mean? And one thing that we're going to try to do, we're not going to really point the finger at these athletes and say, how dumb are you, how stupid are you, how is that? We're going to try to understand the dynamic of the neighborhood. And as you and I both know, and your dad might have some type of context, Riley, what this is, we've all been guilty, probably spending time with people from our neighborhood who we loved as kids that went down a different path than we did.
No doubt.
Yeah, do you understand where I'm coming from, man?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And where you're from in Hillside Manor,
Yep.
I didn't grow up like that. My father was a social worker on all the projects. I grew up a couple of blocks away. But, the guy that bailed me out of jail, okay, had done 2 times in federal prison. But I didn't look at him like that. I looked at him as my little league teammate, and a friend of mine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you understand how it shakes out?
Yeah. It's a lot easier said than done to try to say, oh, yeah, I can distance myself and just walk away.
Sure.
It doesn't work that way.
Sure.
And when you're talking about professional athletes, it's even more of a harder thing to do.
My brother and running around with some of his guys from Fall River up at Fresno's a perfect example of it. Yeah. It's very, very hard where we're from, right, to
cut ties,
create that healthy distance.
Yeah.
As a member of law enforcement, did you ever look around in the passengers that were in your car that were headed to Alhambra's, or you were headed to this or that and saying, holy shit, if this is not a good look for me if I get pulled over or...
Well, fortunately for me, I was older when I did get into that profession, so I was kind of, it wasn't like in my younger days when I was, had those associations. It was later on.
But you still have those associations.
Oh, absolutely,
as I do.
Absolutely. But when you're talking about it at a younger age, now it's your mind's a little different. You're going to think differently or whatever. So,
have you had to ever tell anybody from your project or your past or from the Marconi Club or from the Neptune that you just could not associate with them anymore?
No, I would never do that because that's, unless it was putting me in a bad position. But as far as hanging with them, associating with them, no, there's no way I'm going to do that.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. If you had a son and at your age, the places that you were working, and you're clean as whistle, Birdie. There's not.
I wouldn't say 100% clean, but for the most part,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you were a father, you would probably advise your son.
It's a different world we live in now, though, Mike.
I hear you.
Based on what we were doing in the '80s. But yes, of course, I'm going to try to lead them in the right direction. Stay. Anybody would try to. The lessons that we've learned in our lifetime to translate that into a younger generation, to try to not have them go down the road that we went through.
What I tell my nephew, and I'm going to ask you this question, Riley. What I tell my nephew is this. Okay, I try to manage it and get it down to its simplest forms. If you're in a car with 4 other guys, you are assuming every beef they have,
Oh, you're right.
Right?
100%.
You know what I mean?
Or the way we grew up, yeah.
You're assuming every beef that they have, right?
Or anything that's in that vehicle.
Any baggage that they're carrying around with them.
Yep.
Anything that they may have in their pockets or in their backpack.
Yep.
Right or wrong?
That's 100% correct.
You know what I mean? I try to encapsulate it in where you go. You know what I mean? Okay, you pull up to an all-night store. Now you have every dude from every neighborhood looking to get gas, looking to get cigarettes, looking to get blunts, looking to do whatever the fuck they're doing, right? And that's where the trouble's going to pop off, right?
Yeah.
But in the car started simply that you assume every problem so know very well who you're in that car with.
That's correct. But we weren't thinking like that at that age, though. So
there were times I was thinking it. There were times that first of all, there were times that happened to me. You know, and had nothing to do with me. But all of a sudden, the windshield's getting hit by a bat.
Yeah, but you're in it. You're in the mix.
What do you do from far? Are you going to run away?
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
Unfortunately, you probably should run away.
No, that's not happening.
But growing up like we did.
Yeah, no, it's.
You pay a price for that. Riley, can you dig what I'm talking about with the car thing and growing up as a young man? Like, I mean, you know, your brother's a rowdy dude. Your family's a rowdy guys. They're very well liked, very well respected. But they didn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth. They were from a rough neighborhood. Have your dad ever talked to you? Have you ever thought about, say, listen, like, who am I with? Do you understand what I said when I made that car analogy?
That makes all sense. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Because even my friends, like, I don't hang out with many people, just usually the same people I've known for a long time, but like they like to do things that I don't.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, yo, like maybe like we don't do that right now. Let's just wait until a little bit later because like I'll get in trouble too. Like I'm here even though I'm not doing anything.
Sure, yeah.
And then they're like, all right. And then
if there's grass in the car, somebody's going to snitch or everybody's getting charged.
Yeah. I wouldn't snitch.
If you're a sucker cop, that's what you're going to do. It's never going to hold up in court, right?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Well, it's not hold up in court.
I would hope not.
But you're going to get booked and you're going to get arraigned. It'll hold up to arraignment. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. If they want to push the issue,
Well, arraignment's not pushing it. Arraignment's just starting the process.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you'd be fully prosecuted, but your name's going to be in paper. You're going to catch that charge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God forbid if there's a gun in the car. God forbid if there's a knife in the car.
That's a whole different story.
God forbid if that car was part of an assault at a party or at a place or wherever it may be. And I'm not talking about robberies because that's a preconditioned, like, I'm just talking about stuff that people can just step into. Shit that people can just step into. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
It's everyday life nowadays.
You know, and, you know, it's much, it's depending on where you're from, I think the degrees of stepping away from it become easier or harder.
Well, where we were from, it was definitely harder. So,
like I know that my mother, like, moved to where she moved in the seat to get my father away from his neighborhood. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Oh, I know 100% where you're coming from.
You know what I mean? Like there's no, you know, there was. You know, Farmer was a very violent place in the 70s.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a different, you know, it still is today, but, you know, so that's what we're going to try to dip off our foot into, okay, is, you know, how the lines get burned. Like Jalen Rose said, listen, I'm not hanging at these guys' house because they are the most popular cocaine dealers in Detroit, and they're good looking. And I'm hanging at these guys' house because I went to middle school with them. Because they live around my block. And they got the DJ in the house, and they got the game on in the house, and I'm freezing my balls off in Detroit, and my mother ain't hearing me having a party in my house.
Yeah.
She don't care if I'm scoring 20 points a game on TV, right?
Yeah, and then
we get that. And then you get to Ray Lewis, and you get that. And then you get to Mike Tyson, hanging around with Haitian Jack and all those, you know what I mean? And all that stuff. And you know, the lines get convoluted. So that's That's where we're going to go with that. And I think that we have the proper context and the proper life experience to look at this thing from two sides. We're not cops and we're not prosecutors here, okay?
That's for sure.
We're going to put out one side of the situation when it happens, and then try to, explain it, yes or no, and how it goes. And don't get me wrong, there is the time when you got to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, there is a time,
even more so in this day and age.
that you're going to walk away, right? And because the hood holds very few boundaries. And we were talking about this game, right? About this game that me and my friends play from time to time. Tell me, right, one athlete that is driving through one of the worst hoods in the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Compton South Central.
Yep.
Right? Late at night, that, flossing with the jewelry, that is not going to get robbed because he is who he is. We talked about what happened with Pele, right?
I don't.
When they tried to rob Pele,
really,
the three guys passed out.
And that's one of the world's most famous athletes.
three guys in Brazil passed out when they realized they were robbing them.
Yep.
And two guys ran for their lives and they ended up getting shot and killed.
Wow.
Back when they went to Favela. Oh yeah, it's very well documented.
Really?
Yeah, the guys passed out. Now let me ask you a question, right?
Yep.
I'm going to throw 10 athletes actually driving through the hood, right? And you tell me if they're getting robbed or not. All right?
Almost all of them are going to get robbed if you're going through these hoods nowadays.
All right, but there's a few that might not.
Maybe, but...
All right. Does Magic Johnson get robbed in South Central?
What exactly are we talking about for valuables here in the dollar amount?
You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no,
And I'm not talking about from an organized stick-up crew who do it for a living.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of kids look at it as an opportunity.
Yeah, they might...
They pull up, they got a buzz on, they're driving, and they're asking for directions.
Yeah, you might get a few guys that they might get struck by and that might get a pass.
Sure.
So I'll agree with you there.
All right, okay, so is Magic getting robbed?
In South Central?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. I'm giving you just an honest
right, I hear you.
It's an opinion. Doesn't mean it's...
Now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Now, all right. Magic doesn't get robbed. Does Muhammad Ali get robbed?
Oh, absolutely not.
What?
Muhammad Ali?
Yeah,
I would say absolutely not.
So he gets the pass too, right?
I would think so.
All right. How about Iverson?
Well, I would say he's probably getting robbed.
The brothers love him though, man.
Well, you're talking about L.A.
I'm talking about that culture. What do you think?
I'm just guessing here. That's all I'm doing.
What? How about Kobe when he was alive?
No.
No, L.A. In L.A. I wouldn't.
You don't think
so.
they looked at him as a kid of privilege?
No chance.
No chance.
I
don't think so. Everybody loved him. Like everything. Nobody hated him.
All right.
Like everybody loved him.
How about Shaq?
Well, they better bring a lot of. They better bring a lot of hardware for Shaq.
Right?
No, I don't think so.
No. How about Floyd Mayweather?
Oof.
Without question.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely going to get.
There's no chance he does because everywhere he goes, he has like 4 or 5 security guards.
Yeah, but this is we're not playing that role play. We're like, he's out too late. He's a little confused. Do you understand where we're coming from? It's a different game.
Take a wrong
turn. Nobody's gonna get robbed if they got 5 Crips of security in the back seat strapped and everything like that. I'm just talking about circumstances. How about Larry Bird?
In South Central?
They may give him a pass because he's so uniquely recognizable.
But you're talking about against young kids nowadays that might not remember who Larry Bird is.
Everyone knows Larry Bird.
I don't know. I'm not so sure.
Around my age, they do.
These millennials nowadays, these young
kids. How about
kids.
Jordan?
No chance.
That's not
no
happening.
chance.
Oh, I think Jordan has a higher chance than you think.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Everyone just looks down at their feet and realizes what they're wearing. They're not gonna. They're not gonna rob the guy who did it. I don't think he does.
No. How about Tyson?
Like I said, another guy. You better bring a posse with you. If
you think they like Tyson. They like Tyson.
See, if you're from and if they know your background, like a guy from Brownsville like him, that's why he might get a pass. So I don't know.
Well, they ain't worried about the background because they got the zipper.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're coming with that.
Yeah.
Right. So you know, like you said, it can make a 4'3" idiot as tall as Andre the Giant. So who else? What do you think about? How about Derek Jeter? Does Derek Jeter get robbed in Brownsville?
Probably don't even know who he is.
In Brownsville, New York, they do.
Oh, New York. Okay,
Brownsville, New York.
No, probably not because it's New York.
Really? So you're going
like that's like saying like if somewhere like say like the bad streets of Brockton, like is Tom Brady gonna get robbed? Probably not because like everybody loves him and he was like a hero around here. You know what I mean? Like I think if you go to like New York
outside the comfort level of
like if you go like a bad area of Brockton for Derek Jeter, I think the odds rise because it's
the odds rise as the neighborhood degenerates, the odds rise for everybody. And I'm including Mike Tyson and Magic Johnson. How about Kareem?
See, that's someone I don't think people around my age will know who it is right off their head.
Well, yeah, they would because he's 7'4".
No, but they wouldn't know who he is. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, wow, that guy's tall. But they wouldn't know. Like, I know who it is.
You know his unique look?
Yeah, but he doesn't know wear those glasses no more. You know what I mean? Like, I know who he looks like, of course, like, if I see him. But, like, not every, like, person cares that much about basketball.
I'm talking about, like, the gang demographic. The young kids aren't going to make that call. We're looking at guys.
Remember the Paul Pierce incident?
Sure, that was in Boston.
I mean, you're more familiar. That's why I was going to ask
those
you.
Guys.
You're more familiar.
Sure.
What was I don't believe that was was that a robbery attempt?
No, that wasn't a robbery attempt. That was who's got a bigger joint thing that started with a lot of shit talking in pool, and it was just the wrong dudes to play with. And like you said, you know, I've been in a lot of situations where either you're on one end or the other. Either you're a long way from home, so you got to eat it, right? Or if you're not a long way from home, you're going to be back. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So it makes a difference how the situations that you're in. Am I correct about that?
And who's with you?
And who's with you?
We can go back to the famous. This is the famous Michael Irvin, Benny Blades scenario where down in Miami, where he thought he was going to go down and
call the Blades.
And somebody had to go, Michael, listen, slow your roll.
These guys are killing. He goes, killers. We're killers too. He goes, no, Mike, we're killers. Who's bigger killers than us? And Benny Blades said, no, Mike. These guys are real killers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get 20
That's why, like you just made the statement. Who do you have with you? Who, if he was there,
they know the
landscape.
Sure,
So,
I mean, Nipsey Hussle, one of the guys who gave back most to his community, was executed in the shopping plaza that he bought and employed all young black people. He was a rolling 60 Crip, which arguably is the most dangerous street gang in the history of this country. The Rolling 60s are the biggest street gang, one of the biggest street gangs in Los Angeles, and they are notorious. You remember the movie The Boys in the Hood? Are you one of them Rolling 60 motherfuckers, the cops, when they pull them over? You know, that culture is, very, very real out there. Ask Tupac.
No, it's...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They ain't getting punched out by no rapper and they can't go home. They can't go back. So that's an interesting game, that we play. You can throw Dr. J in there. We can throw Joe Montana in there. It's interesting. So we're gonna explore that dark underbelly of where it becomes. When do you walk away? When do you have to? I think, and we're gonna wrap it up with this. I was listening to Kanye West, and he was like, "I don't give people anything anymore because if they ask me, because how much can you give? How many times can you give the same friend a loan? How many times can you give the same family member? You buy him a house and now you want a bigger house." you know. And I think once you see that not everybody where you're from or that was in your inner circle has still maintained your best intentions because life has been crueler to them than it has to you, I think people walk away on their own.
And then that's how you start to separate, probably.
And that's how
make the separation.
Make the separation. Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, let's separate from this topic right now and talk about Riley's first takes. My man Riley, dressed in Denver orange, all right?
Okay.
Crushed orange, says, my Broncos can't get it done against the Raiders. Pick any team you want and tease them with the Raiders, and that's a guaranteed win.
Yes, I thought the Raiders part was.
I got to take this Herren project call, Birdie. That's what
Okay.
I thought the Raiders part, like we already took, was the win. You guys find whatever you like, but the Raiders part is from me. Tease them up to 9. I mean, Birdie, we did it earlier.
Yep.
It's perfect, right?
Oh no! Hopefully it's perfect.
I know, but you're getting the value, right?
Absolutely, you're getting the value.
You get 9 points at home. A team that needs to win to get to the playoffs. It's literally perfect. What we did is we did it with the Steelers. I know we're a little late. The Steelers game already finished. You guys can't grab that. But if you find a game that you like and good value, like, I don't know, one for me that stood out. I don't want to say this because it could be a shit show of a game. But the football team and the Giants, I like the football team. Tease them down to 1 point it would be?
Yes.
Tease them down to 1 point. So pretty much money line. I know it's not, but tease them down to 1. But find the game that you like. I hate to say it, but the Raiders is where the value is this week for me.
I agree 100%. I mean, you want to bet teams that...
Did you just say are you listening to this? Is Rachel Souza Arruda listening to the growth on this young man, where he just said the Raiders are where the value is?
Doesn't mean that they're gonna win. Doesn't mean
they're gonna win.
I still don't think that they'll win the game. No. But it doesn't mean that I think they're gonna keep it close.
But you're getting the value in that game,
especially at home. Like if this was in LA, I still wouldn't feel that bad at +9, just because even at LA, it's another home game for the Raiders. But this is a legit home game for the Raiders. Like there's gonna be barely any Chargers fans here. It's gonna be a rowdy crowd. They need to win to get into the playoffs. Like this is huge for them, especially in this kind of season. I hope they lose. I don't want to see them win, but I think they'll keep it within 4, 3 around there. So that's why I like it.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
And he gave us a soccer bet. Now I think I'm going to put $300 on that bet.
Wow.
That gets me nervous. I'm not gonna lie, but I think this is the time. Like Jimmy was saying, oh, don't do it now because there's so much time. But I feel like this is the time right now because people are not hitting it yet. They're oh, let's wait till
No, you want to hit it right now before that line moves.
Exactly, and that's what I usually try to do in the NFL. Like when me and Birdie were talking,
And what did Jimmy say?
He said that they're playing Salzburg, who's not a bad team, which I completely disagree. But I'll get through everything. He says playing Salzburg, not a bad team. It's not in Germany. It's in Austria. Blah, 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 whatever. I was like, yo, you realize that Salzburg is probably not even as good as Barcelona and Benfica, if not on the same level as them. And Bayern Munich beat Benfica 5-2, 4-0.
Bayern Munich's fans are going to take that stadium over.
And then they beat Barcelona 3-0 and 3-0 again twice. So if this spread was every single game that Bayern Munich played in the Champions League, so 6 games, if this was the spread for all the 6 games, they would have covered 5 times. Yeah. 5 times they would have covered. There was only one time they didn't cover, and it was 2-1 away. So, I mean, it's just and it's in the round of 16 where they need to care the most. If they cannot take a loss anymore. So they're going to be 100% locked in. And to me, they're just going to steamroll this team. I think they could honestly score 9 goals over 2 legs. Now, I'm not saying one game score 9 goals, but they could honestly score 8 to 10 goals within 2 games against this team. That's how good they are and how... This is easily the worst team left in the round of 16 against arguably the best team left or the second best team.
So
if that team beat Bayern Munich at home, they'd shut the city down. They'd shut the country
down. Exactly.
It'd be a wrap. It'd be fucking Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, and Easter all into one. It would be it's not gonna happen.
So is Jimmy endorsing this pick or no?
He did endorse it.
A little bit. He's oh, I don't know, it's too early. Because one thing about soccer is right, you don't know who's gonna play until an hour before the game. It's not like football where oh, maybe the quarterback plays. We don't even know who's gonna start. You know what I mean? Of course, Joe Burrow's gonna play every game, but sometimes Ronaldo doesn't play. Sometimes out of nowhere, the coach will be all right, you're not gonna play, and then they can come into the game. So it's a lot different than football. Football, you'll be like, okay, Devontae Adams is going to play this week because he's not hurt. Rodgers not going to hurt. But if a guy's not hurt, doesn't mean they're going to start. So that's why putting in this early is kind of like weird because they could just be like, all right, we're going to rest this guy for the other game coming up. But I still think it's fine. Their squad is like 25 players
deep. I think the culture of Bayern Munich would beat them by 2 goals with their second team.
No, I honestly think if it was at 3, I would have a little bit hard time putting in, but I'd still think that it was good at 2. Sorry, I would still have a hard time doing it because they have to win by 3. But I still think that's fine. I think 1.5. If it doesn't move, if it moves up, I mean.
Have you bet it yet?
Yes, I did already. I looked at it and I was like, how is this like this? And then I was like, all right, I have to do this.
So you want to bet it now before it moves to 2?
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, because
That's what it sounds like to me.
that's
I don't know.
huge in soccer. I mean, 1 point. That's like moving from 7 to 14 in the middle of one game. It's not like where you move 1 point in football
Yeah,
where it's
you're
only
right.
like
You're right.
1
You're
point.
right. You're right.
One
Yeah.
goal is now they need to win by 3 goals, not 2.
One goal could take 25 minutes to materialize.
Exactly.
When is this game being played?
February 16th, around
So we're way ahead
2:45.
of this one.
Yes.
Oh, you got a long ways to go.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah.
Way ahead of time. And one thing is that one of Bayern Munich's best players could come back before then. Like he could return from injury. They don't really need him, but he is one of their best players. And if he comes back, that line could move up to 2.
I'm telling you, boy, lock into soccer. Lock into soccer with those quick hits. By the way, my quick hits. I'm a game under 500. I bounce back. Last night, NBA, I go 6 for 6
Wow.
with no video. But I have witnesses.
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting
I
it,
have
Mike.
witnesses,
Yeah,
but no video.
Oh.
Chelsea and Man U, big game for you.
Well, so this weekend is FA Cup round 3. They're playing some shit third division team. They're gonna play like all like kids my age probably are gonna be playing. But then the weekend after it's Chelsea Man City, this is the biggest
They're
game.
advertising that on Fox already.
Yes, this is the biggest game of the season by far. Like if put it this way, if Chelsea doesn't win this game and it ties or they lose, the season's over for everyone. Man City is going to walk away with the league. It's not even going to be close if this tie or Man City wins. If Chelsea wins, you'll see a real race about to happen for the Premier League title. But if they lose, it's completely over. It's no chance. Just lock it up. Man City wins the Premier League right there and then that day.
Who will be favored?
So
Where's the game at?
It's in Manchester, which would give them a huge favorite. So I think you'll probably be looking at Chelsea plus 250, and then Man City probably -1 or -200 maybe, and then handicap will probably be Chelsea minus 0.5. That's what they usually do around soccer, 0.5 or 1.
Sure.
So 0.5 is just like it just helps the underdog and doesn't really help the favorite.
Birdie, what's good with you, brother? Where have you been? You look like refreshed. You're back on the dating scene again? You are again. I'm Birdie. You can't walk away from it.
It's a lifelong battle. You know better than that. Nah, I'm just.
When did she?
I'm just laying low, Mike. Nah,
when did the pop up mule come back?
There's no pop up, Mike. No pop up. I'm just laying low, trying to get by like.
Birdie, something's
like
different with you because
everybody
you got a
else.
big smile on your fucking face.
You didn't say that when you walked in.
What'd I say?
You said, "Oh, you're miserable. You know, you ain't got a smile." Blah blah blah. So,
Oh, but now you're smiling. I cracked the ice, and now it's
ice.
coming out.
Yeah. So now.
So what's going on?
Not much. Like I said, getting ready for the snowfall.
Is it my former babysitter?
No.
Oh, for the record,
haven't
Birdie
seen
will tell you. For the record, Birdie will tell you this to be fact. Okay, when I rattled off my old babysitters' names,
Oh my God.
they were some of the best looking women ever to walk the streets in Fall River.
Oh my God.
Am I lying, Birdie?
No.
I am not.
That's
Trust me,
100
my parents had me when they were 18 years old.
100%
I had a
correct.
lot of babysitters. Okay, but when I threw a few names at Birdie, he was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" Really?
Yeah. I can't deny that. That's 100%
They didn't
correct.
lock me up and kiss me in a closet. I mean, I don't know why these guys are complaining. I have 6th or 7th grade. I would have been a willing hostage.
Participant.
I
Yeah.
would have been a willing hostage.
Yeah. Oh.
How have you been hitting them?
I had a decent week this week. I went with your pick the other night with the Steelers. I couldn't not pass on that.
That was like one of the weirdest things ever, though. Like
too good.
in the minute of Mike betting and then you betting and then me betting, it changed like 3-4 points. It was so weird.
Same thing I ran into last night.
So weird. So weird, dude.
Yeah.
It's like all the big hitters want to wait to like the very last second and then dump all their money on it or something.
Well,
The Atlanta Hawks over and under was 239.5 last night.
Okay.
And when we started betting it, because I didn't even realize, for somehow they missed my math, 239. I would have emptied. I would have made a
Emptied
significant
your wallet.
bet. Now listen, guys. When I'm talking about this, I'm betting $50 a game, $40 parlay. I'm betting with, and I've been betting with the same money for about a month now. I'm in a position where I can't get really hurt from this, right?
Yeah,
You
you're
know
not,
we
you're not
bet.
going crazy.
No, none of us are.
No.
Okay, but that would be a game when I saw that number, 240, Birdie.
Oh, for the over on the
Now
Hawks.
Sacramento just lost a barn burner against the Lakers.
Lakers,
Okay,
yeah, I did see that.
you know Atlanta's flying cross country, right?
Yeah, they
I
played.
mean, 240 points.
That was Portland last night, right? Atlanta?
no. Atlanta played Sacramento,
Oh, okay. They might have played
but
Portland prior to
it
that.
started at 241.
They-
You know what I mean? And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, this. I haven't seen a line that high all year.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know what the line makers
They
were.
didn't
factoring
put
in.
it this way. Hold on. It didn't even get to over. It got to like 205.
Yeah. So it wasn't even. That wasn't going over.
But you know where I got it? 10 minutes late. 226.
And it still
That's
didn't
how
even
we
come
were
close
watching
to
it. It was dropping, and you couldn't even register it on a kiosk.
So you bet it live.
I bet it live once I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know,
crazy.
You know, I mean, it was. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how they teach the machines to think that way.
Oh, they're probably on a
Yeah, of course.
computer
yeah.
module
Yeah.
that's going to, as soon as the game starts, that computer's locked into every possession. Once the points come in, it's going
Sure.
to adjust to what I mean, that's what I'm guessing.
It's going to hold to form as you know, with time, money, relative for sure.
Yep.
Lincoln, Foxwoods.
There was a trip to Twin River on Sunday for when I was betting the Bengals,
Yeah,
and I was there for a couple hours. Then I came back.
by yourself, solo
Got
dolo.
the bad news on Sunday that we discussed.
Is there arrangements for the big guy?
You know, Mike, I got the information. He didn't want anything. This was his way of just people. Everybody has different
Sure.
ways that they say that when they
Sure.
go, they want.
Yeah,
And Wayne was just a guy that did not want nothing. They're going to do a service, from what I heard, eventually, at some point. So I'll keep an eye
For
out
a man
for
as
that.
beloved as you would, there's a lot of people that want to say goodbye
Yeah, no, and
to him. So.
hopefully we'll be able to do that. So that's from what I'm hearing.
So are you ready to handicap the last week in the NFL regular season?
So
Are you ready to go?
It's like putting handcuffs on, trying to
It is.
handicap it.
Okay, last week in the NFL, we talked about that. The Bruins and Celtics. Can somebody tell me that the Bruins are kicking ass, please?
Yes, we discussed this earlier. I
Yeah.
mentioned to Riley, the
Bruins
Bruins are on a little bit of a roll right now.
There we go.
They won again last night.
Because the Celtics
New
ain't.
Jersey. No, the Bruins have won, I believe, 4 in a row. They've been playing a lot of games because they're playing catch-up because of the COVID. So they played last night. I believe they're playing tonight also against a very good Minnesota team at home. There's also talk that Tuukka Rask is going to be...
So he got called up to the Providence Bruins, so he's going to be playing there for a little bit, I guess, while he tries to like get better and whatever. So that's a huge, really good sign because I mean he's one of their best players, and just to get to play for the Providence Bruins for a couple, maybe 2-3 weeks, I don't know,
Yeah,
just
that's a good move.
get himself in shape, and then he's get called right back up, and that could be huge for the Bruins. We're already doing pretty good. Now you get one of your best players back. I mean, it's massive. And in a position that's needed that much, it's really, really good.
Sure. And the Celtics are dreadful. I tried to watch that game last night,
Hey,
right?
do you think they make the playoffs?
Wow.
Well, the play-in, I should say. Sorry. We're not even aiming for the playoffs. We're aiming for the make-believe play-in.
I don't even know. I mean, what's their record now?
18 and 20.
So 2 games below 500.
Remember when we saw that Las Vegas line and we all laughed to ourselves saying, this is a fucking
I
joke?
bet the it was for 45, 46.
No, it was like one game over 500.
Really?
So they played
I thought it was a
86
little more.
games.
So
Yeah,
they're like pretty much
44.
Yeah, they're pretty much like
Yeah.
on pace to hit that and shit. Well, not on pace, but like they could.
under-
They,
they're under-
I know, but they could
Yeah.
still hit that. And we thought they were going to be like a top 4, top 5 team, but it's just something not
I
good.
mean, I'm looking at time hops in my Facebook, Birdie, right? Which was like bring you back to a post that you made a year ago or 2 years ago. And where people are saying the Celtics are odds-on favorite to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, it's
What
crazy.
was their win total last year? Can we look that up, right?
Yeah.
53 53 maybe. They finished where last year? 4th in the conference? 5th?
I think it was 6th or 7th.
Well, man, when you watch it, have you watched the Celtics at all, Birdie, yet?
To be honest with you, I'll watch games if it's in the second half, late in the game. To sit down and watch a whole game, Mike, it's torture for me compared to what I used to watch.
Yeah, but then they never coming back, bro.
So
I understand.
So last year they were literally 500, 36 and 36. That's what they were last year. I get and they finished 7th last year.
Oh, for the partials.
Yeah, so they had
72
Yeah.
games. Really?
Yeah.
They were only 500.
So they had
last year.
to. So they had to play the play-in against the Wizards, and then we beat the Wizards. So I mean, that's just going to be really
I thought
rough.
they were better than that last year. Wow.
Now we're just hoping for a play-in spot.
Like, they don't play hard. They don't play smart. They don't play in rhythm. They're inconsistent. Their coach, they're walking by their coach. We needed 50 points to beat the Orlando Magic from Jaylen Brown by 4 points.
Do you think that there's the problem that some of these guys on the Celtics don't like each other, possibly?
I just think that they're young and lost.
This
We just gave a shout out to Wayne Oliver. What was Wayne's favorite football team, Birdie?
Wayne Oliver's famous football. There's a backstory to this. I saw Bobby Barboza ran into him yesterday. And He was telling me they went down to New York for a preseason game back. Wayne Oliver loved Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor was his guy. So, according to this is what Bobby told me. They went down to try to get Wayne wanted to meet Lawrence Taylor or whatever, and I don't know how the story played out, but
who was in that car? Tell me
I
who's
don't
in
know
that
the
car.
whole story, so maybe
gonna
Alan,
take
you
a
might
guess.
have to get Alan to come in here and give the story because I didn't get the whole dynamic
Bobby
of the story.
Barboza's in the car. Wayne's in the car. Joey Motors is in the
I
car.
believe so.
Who else is in that car?
I don't know, Mike. I went to a few. We went to a few Patriot games.
So he's a Giant fan.
He was a diehard. We used to have wars.
My God, I can imagine.
Between the Reds and the Redskins and the Giants back in the day. Those were the teams. That's back in the 80s when they ran the top of the 86, 87, 88. But so he got down there. I don't know if he got to meet him. He got like a shout out from. He didn't get to actually talk to him, but he like waved, said a hello to him. Is from the story I got. So, like I said, maybe we can get Alan in here or one of the other guys that have a little bit more background on that story.
But it's we gave a shout out to him. Absolutely, Giants. There you go. There you go, Alan.
He was a diehard Giant fan.
Getting back to the Celtics, right? Like they get blown out by 30 to Toronto, right? Now Toronto has scrapped all their pieces. They're in a complete rebuilding mode, but they're doing it the right way. So they go up there, they give you by 30 in an empty arena, no home court advantage.
Yep.
They get on a flight. Let's say they get in at 6 in the morning. Like, let's say 5 in the morning.
So they got held up at customs trying to get out of Canada then, right? Is that what's going on up there?
Well, I mean, it's not as easy as it used to be.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's going to take.
Well, all right. Let's say the 8 o'clock game ends at 10:30. By the time you deal with the meeting, it's 11. It's 11:30. By the time you're in the shower, out of the shower, it's 12:30. You take a 2 o'clock flight. You're in Boston at 5. By the time you get off the tarmac into the bus, and you're checking into the hotel at 6 or 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you got to play.
So your whole body clock is thrown into.
And you're a bad team anyway. You're the Saints. Can you name 3 guys on the Spurs? No.
I did watch him earlier this year against the Celtics.
And neither can I. But I know. I'll tell you what. They play together. They play hard.
Yeah.
They do what they do.
Yep.
Okay. And the Celtics, this team with all kinds of promise, they got beat. They got out hustled to every ball. I mean, there was a loose ball with like 15, 20 seconds ago, and Tatum went after it like such a bitch.
Half-assed.
Oh my God! I'm like,
These guys.
You gotta have this ball.
They're not diving for balls anymore.
Diving. They're not even going head first. They're not even stepping into the action. Forget about diving. Forget about diving. Larry Bird ain't walking through that door, and Dave Collins ain't walking through that door.
Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson.
The problem lies in their coaching. I mean, you're playing the Spurs. They don't have anybody we know about, but they got one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach of all time, in Greg Popovich. But still, the talent is there for the Celtics to completely just beat that team, and it's just they almost had a little prayer right at the end when they had that catch the ball, and I think that just sums up the season. Like the team gave it to you, and you're like, nah, I don't want it, and they just missed it right there at the end.
How about the loose ball in half court where Tatum gives some half-ass, half-body effort?
It's like flopping in soccer. They're trying to make it look like they're trying to do something, but they're not doing anything. You know what I mean?
You're right. No,
they're just like
that's a great point.
They're just like, I don't really want to do it, but I'm gonna make it look like I'm doing it just to make like people like us be happy with him.
Sure. Winter Olympics, Birdie.
Phew, talking to the wrong guy.
What's your favorite Winter Olympic story aside from the American hockey team?
That's rough.
Winter Olympics,
Yeah.
huh?
Because it's coming.
Ooh.
Birdie,
Is table tennis winter?
No.
No, because table tennis is I
Winter
love
Olympic story.
I love playing ping pong.
This is a little bit off the beaten path, though. How about Tanya Harding and
Yeah,
Nancy Kerrigan? Right?
That was hot.
Yeah, I like the female figure skating.
Yeah. Okay, I wonder why.
I'm giving you an honest answer. I can't. Think of
I like the
Oh, you know-
I like the snowboarding. The snowboarding is my
That's-
favorite.
that's his
Up the half pipe and they do their tricks. I like that. That's
They just
pretty
made
cool.
that an Olympic
Yeah.
sport.
And then the skiing as well, because I tried skiing and it's so hard and I don't know how
What
to do it.
I'm
was the
surprised you're not good enough.
No.
He's not a good skier.
What was
terrible.
the most famous scene ever in the Winter Olympics that was caught on video? And it was
Yeah, when they were executing hostages in
no. I'm talking about like
sports space.
sports clip of something
The
that
thrill
was
of victory and the agony of defeat.
bingo. That was it. Remember the Wide
The
World of
thrill,
Sports?
yeah.
The guy
Dun,
coming
dun,
down,
dun,
he comes down there and he goes the agony of defeat.
The
and the guy,
thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
and who was the guy that announced that? What
I don't
was
know.
his
Who was
name?
his name?
Jim McKay.
Was it
Remember
Jim McKay?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
Wide World of Sports.
Remember Eddie the Eagle?
Eddie the Eagle.
The common man from the common pub in Britain who qualified. They made a movie about
that
him.
guy.
Who qualified for the you know the jump when you jump and you got to get over your skis.
Yeah.
Now, what's
Whatever
that
they
called
call
again?
that. Slalom or...
No, not skiing. It's you get on top of a platform and you go down. You have the helmet on. You got eye goggles, and then the
Toboggan
thing?
thing?
No, and then you jump.
Oh, I forgot. I
Eddie
don't
the
know.
Eagle. You know those platforms?
I don't know, Mike. I don't know.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, you got me on that one. I don't know what
Can
it
we look
is.
up Eddie the Eagle, please? Eddie the Eagle. Great movie. He was a common man, and he wanted to be different.
So he went...
Yeah, Eddie the Eagle. And he
really?
qualified from England
an
because they don't get a
Olympic
lot of skiers over there. No, not for the Olympic team, but it was the jumping. Look at how he's in the air.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like the kind of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Now I get it.
Guy had zero experience and
Well, that's the thing with the Wide World of Sports, too. I think the guy goes into one of those, and then all of a sudden he loses control, and then he's flipping over like 10 times. So Jamaican bobsled, that was another one.
Jamaican bobsled, there you go.
Like I don't even understand. They've probably never even seen snow one day in their life. Like, how do you practice?
Because it's an easy to qualify, brother.
They can simulate it
Hey,
somehow.
you're
I
a fucking
guess.
Olympic athlete. It's going to
Simulate.
say that in your obituary, bro.
That's
You're one of
awesome.
those. Yeah.
But like, where do they like go? Like,
should-
where do they go to practice? They
We
can't.
should move to Jamaica and try to make like the fucking Jamaican ski team or something.
No, I wouldn't even qualify. I'm
There's
so bad at
a
skiing.
lot of snow in Jamaica, right, Birdie?
Yeah, well, there's snow down there, but it ain't the winter snow like up here. They say that's the best
Snow around?
marijuana.
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
never, because I'm not a smoker, but if
I-
you go to Jamaica, that's where you want to go for marijuana, right?
So we got the Winter Olympics, the Bruins, the Celtics, and college basketball, and the Red Sox.
I'm loving college basketball.
You're loving it.
I can't wait for March. March is my favorite time of the year.
We better stop paying
Cannot
attention.
wait.
PC was on a nice run, but then they got smacked
Smacked
around.
by Marquette, right?
You see my
Smacked around by
boy Colin,
Marquette.
the point guard from Marquette?
Kid that played in the
Herren
shootout.
shootout?
I
Yeah,
remember
you
you
see those
telling me
passes
that.
he was making,
I
man?
watched a little bit of it, yeah.
Syracuse has been looking okay. They're probably, I think, around like 500. So I'm hoping they can get at least in.
How much is Cole Swider averaging for Syracuse? Can you look that up for me? He's another guy that played in the Herren shootout. Then we get to 7 questions for this week in the NFL.
Final week of regular season.
It was very tough to dig out the stuff, but I'll tell you what, it all starts.
This is like a lull in between the playoffs now, because this last week you got a lot.
You don't
of,
need this last week.
No, I said that a couple of weeks ago. That this was
Yeah,
a
you
mistake
don't-
them
you
going
don't-
into this
you
last
don't
week.
need it.
But the NFL's all money oriented, so they're gonna do whatever's going to get
What's he
them.
averaging?
So this year he is averaging 13.1 points,
All right.
1.6 assists, 6.9 rebounds,
All right.
with 1.4 steals. So not bad.
15-6.
Not too
Boy,
bad.
Cole.
Not too bad.
That's high. That's good. Playing at a high level like that.
I'm rooting for him.
Questions. Pick a Birdie. I got 7 of them, baby.
We always start with 7.
Could the Seattle Seahawks win in what might be Pete Carroll's last game and a great run for the Seahawks, all things considered? Can they go into Arizona the last time together and beat the Cardinals?
Not impossible, but I don't think it's happening.
It's going to be rough because they lost to the Bears. And we're talking about a team that wants to lose to get their head coach out, and they lost to the Bears. It's going to be rough. But this is probably the last game for those two in Seattle.
They should play for Pete Carroll, though.
And Russ, because Russ is their greatest player in history, right? He has to be. I mean, I would assume so. He won a ring for them. He was in the all-time starting list for like most consecutive starts until the
I'm
season.
going to throw a name at you.
The wide receiver, right?
Steve Lodge.
Yes, knew you were going to say that, but I also think that Russ is going to be a Hall of Famer. He won a ring for them.
Sure.
Went to another Super Bowl where they should have won, where it was not his fault, even though he threw the interception.
Yeah.
And it's just this was his first year, and I think like 9 years where they had a losing record.
Sure.
So that for me is what stands out, because like if I was a Seahawks fan growing up in my age, I'd be like, all I know is winning, because he was just there the whole time. So that's why I give it to
There you
him.
go.
But Steve Largent is
That's
a great
awesome.
receiver.
That's
but
awesome.
for those
But
two,
you're right. No, you are right. The most impactful.
yeah, probably.
The most.
He might not be the best, but most impactful might be the right word.
No, he's the best. I would say best and impactful because the position that he plays and
Absolutely.
how special. But Logic was top of the line.
Yeah, he was exactly.
For a long time, but they didn't reach the levels of success.
No, and that's why I think they're gonna want to fight for those two.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Right. Will that decision from Carroll and that interception by Russell Wilson, people are never, ever, ever going to stop talking about that.
Worse than history.
Yeah,
Worse than
that's
history.
not going to go away. That's not going to go
Now,
away.
let me ask you a question. But if it happens in an AFC championship game, right, it would go away. People would forget about it.
I would say yes.
I don't know,
I
because
would
It
agree with
would
you
go away
there.
after
Yeah.
10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Because
But-
Jackie Jensen, I think, is just as bad. I mean, as what happened. I mean, they Roger Staubach hit him right in the numbers.
yeah, but people still talk about that too.
You're talking about.
I still see those on lists all the time.
Jackie
People talk-
Smith.
yeah, when they hit him in the numbers and he drops
Yeah,
it
he
and the
did
end
drop
zone.
it, but it gave Cowboys still had more time
Exactly.
in the game to
Yeah, of course, yeah.
change that.
That was different because like sure that one player made a mistake, but like if you throw it, but on fourth down throw it. You're on second down, you can still run the ball one more time. Like you don't have to just. I think it was first down actually. You don't have to like throw it right then and there. There was no need for it.
Well, here's the deal. It was the last play the Patriots practiced on the way off the field, and Seattle had run it 4 times that year for a touchdown. Does not make it the right call. I
don't think it's the right call at all.
It was whatever it was called. But I'm just giving you context. It had worked for them 4 times that year.
Well, the reason why it's the wrong call is because you had the best short yardage back in the NFL.
But they still had run that play for touchdowns within the 3-yard line.
It's fine.
It was a very good, it's a terrible call. I just have to give the reason why that they try to get away with it.
One other guy in Seattle, real quick, that's very underrated, who has been on there since that Legion of Doom is still there.
Bobby Wagner. He says he wants to return back to that team. He says all things are pointing towards on my side, but
that's
it has to go for them. But he's a free agent, so he says that he wants to re-sign, even though he realizes what's going to be happening.
He's all over the place.
Yeah,
all over the place.
Very, very, very underrated guy that's under the radar.
Okay, here. All right, next question.
I don't know.
Number 5.
How will the Patriots in the Dolphins game play out?
I'll tell you what. Miami's eliminated. Then they're not playing for anything. But I've said this before. I was down there for one of those games a few years ago, and Miami was eliminated in this game also, and they beat the Patriots.
I remember that
to knock them out of the year the Broncos went to the Super Bowl. And if you were in the crowd down there wearing any type of Patriot gear, the time I was there, I've heard some bad verbal assaults over the years, but it was
Really? Why not?
I don't know. Maybe I just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I wasn't
One of
wearing.
those fashionistas from fucking
Yeah, the
Ocean
South
Boulevard,
Beach,
fucking talking shit for.
They don't like they didn't like Tom Brady, and they didn't like the Patriots, Belichick. So
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a free win.
Miami's a city of fashion. They can't respect that Tom Brady married the #1 fashion model in the fucking world.
They can't respect that when that dude's
Brady.
literally been owning that whole entire
Not
division
Miami,
for 20
though.
years.
Not Miami.
That division, I'm saying.
Yeah.
They gave Miami zero
Miami's,
chance to do anything for 20 years straight, besides the 1 year that he somehow got hurt. But I still think that game is going to be a dogfight. I don't think Miami's just going to roll over and be like, here you go, just because of the history
I
that
don't
they have.
either. That's why I asked him,
That's
yeah.
why I think it's going to be a rough game to bet. I think it's just going to be a little bit
What
rough to
is the
figure out what it
line?
is. I think it was at -3 for the Patriots last time.
6.5.
No, it's
6.5 now.
I think it opened at 5.5,
Jeez.
and it's gone up.
Yeah,
to
see, like that
6.5.
to me, like I don't know. I think that's too much, but it's going to be a good game either way. I think it's going to be a great way to end the season for both teams.
Next question.
3.
3. What team who's still in the mix is most likely to lose on the last week?
You mean that hasn't locked the playoff
Who's
spot?
still in the mix? Either they're playing for a playoff or they're playing for positioning.
I got one.
Go ahead.
The Saints.
The Saints?
Yeah, I don't trust that team. Who are they playing?
They're at Atlanta.
Yeah,
right?
I just don't trust that.
The worst bet I ever made.
Yeah,
And you know what I learned for it? I bet on LSU against Kansas State, and I didn't realize it was a walk-on playing quarterback.
I just don't like the Saints. I mean, I like Taysom Hill, but I just don't think that team is good enough anymore. I feel like this is the last year for that team to be together as well. I think a lot of pieces are going to start going away. Kamara is getting a huge contract, but hasn't been performed that
Kamara
great.
quit.
Yeah, that game that we were watching, like he's already starting to get a little bit older. Michael Thomas hasn't played in feels like 100 years, but I just think the Saints are going to disappoint.
I don't know, because they lost to Atlanta about a month ago in the Superdome, and they got everything on the line here now. So Atlanta's eliminated. Here's the question again. How much, if Atlanta gets down a score or 10 points in that game, are they going to, like Cleveland the other night, are they just going to throw in the towel? So if you're New Orleans, though, you want to jump out and say maybe this team will tap out. I mean, I don't know. I have a tough time backing Townsend Hill also. So
Taysom Hill, yeah.
Taysom Hill, that's a tricky game, as are most of these games with the COVID and everything else going on. So,
All right, so we answered 7. We answered 5. We answered 3.
4.
Number 4 is this. West Coast Connect. The Sureños versus the Norteños. Do you know what the distinction that is? Sureños are the southern Mexicans
No, but I
in
know.
California.
I think I know where you're going.
And the
though.
Norteños
Yeah,
is the northern part of
49ers.
California, okay? Does Hollywood win over Silicon Valley? Do the Dodgers and the Giants rivalry get reunited with the 49ers and the Rams? Who wins and why?
I think the 49ers are in a tough spot here
Whoa.
because number one, you're going to need Garoppolo. You don't want to have a rookie with your whole season on the line if Garoppolo doesn't play.
I would.
The kid looked good last week, but that was against the Texans. This is a whole different defense he's going to be seeing this week if he does play.
What's up with Jalen Ramsey? Did he get fined or suspended for punching his teammate?
I think
No.
that was just dismissed internally, and they didn't do anything discussed internally, possibly. Nothing.
He's
come
got
out
to be
of
a
it.
pain in the ass to coach, no?
He's got a little Antonio Brown in him because this guy's got a skill set off the charts, but trouble follows him. Seems to be not to the level of Antonio, but San Francisco smacked them around about a month ago when they played them at home, and I like the Rams. The way the Rams are playing, and I like OBJ right now. Keep an eye on him.
Yes, he's been
has
really
been
good.
playing like the OBJ that we've been seeing.
I'm looking for a Cooper Cup monster game. I think this one because he's I don't think he's gonna hit the receiving yard record, but he's kind of close.
Debo.
Deebo Samuel is really good,
Good.
but the only thing is
they're gonna need him.
I love Trey Lance. If you guys remember, he was my favorite quarterback coming out of the draft, and he still is. And I still think he's gonna have a great future. And I think it makes them so
But you're not
dynamic.
for rookie of the year.
No. But I'm saying it makes him so dynamic, that team. Because now if you put Deebo Samuel in the backfield and they run a read option with Deebo Samuel and Trey Lance, no matter who gets the ball, it's so I don't know. I think it's gonna be a really good game as well. But I got the Rams as well on that one.
Okay, I'm up. Can Pittsburgh pull it off? Big Ben just got bad news. His best active wide receiver just got ruled.
COVID.
He can't play.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Deontay
So
Johnson.
he's going in there with no weapons into the Lions then. A must-win for both teams.
That's right. The Steelers are still alive, right?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So what are you thinking?
Well, is Lamar Jackson playing this week, Riley?
That's the $1 million question. I mean, he's supposed to be playing last week. He was supposed to play the week before that. He was supposed to play the week before that. So if I had to guess, I think they'll throw him in. Be like, hey, look, like this is the last game of the season. If you want to do it, and I feel like you would say yes, go ahead. Just because I think this should be a game that they win. That last game against the Steelers, I think they should have won that one, and that was in Pittsburgh. And now against a team like this, I think they'll be like, all right, they started 8-3, and they've lost, I think, 4 straight or 5. So that's not good. I mean, losing 4 straight ever since Lamar's been out. So this is gonna be a really good game. But I'll take the Ravens in this one.
Okay, so the first time they played, you remember this game. That was the game that Harbaugh decided to go for one of his goal line 4th downs and ended up losing. So Baltimore's at home here.
He's done that twice this year.
Yes, it's going to cost him a playoff spot.
Of
The way it looks like.
Exactly.
So.
And how come he's not getting his balls broke about it?
That's a good question, because if it was one of these other guys that didn't have a Super Bowl under their belt, they'd be getting scrutinized a lot more. So I think that's part of the reason why, but that's not really an excuse.
Okay. How confident are you the Cowboys will bounce back and beat Philadelphia?
I think that very confident, because Philly's already locked in the wild card, so they really are not. I don't think they can really move up much. You're in a wild card spot. Dallas is still playing for home field position here. If they win the game, Philly might rest some players. You get behind, and you're going to pull some guys out. So I would say the Cowboys need to, especially on offense, need to fine tune.
Word out of Philly, is they going to go easy on the Cowboys?
No, not that they want to.
Well,
but
that's what you sounded like.
Yeah, but because of the fact that you're already locked into the playoffs, so you might want to take your foot off the gas if you're Philly. Rest some guys. Guys are a little dinged up. So, I mean, both of these teams are in the playoffs, so it's not like it's big.
Riley, what do you think?
Put your foot to the.
I think this could be a statement game from the Cowboys. Like, go out there and show, like, hey, we're not going to mess around. We're not going to be a pushover. Have their offense go out, throw for like 400 yards, whatever. Just in a game like this, in a division game.
What if it goes the other way for them?
Then I still
bad
don't. I don't
look
know.
for
It
them,
is a
I
bad
think.
look, but I still don't think they have much hope. I think something's just not clicking this year. Like, Zeke doesn't look great. Dak is going a little bit downhill. Like, he's not looking the best. They haven't, besides the Redskins game, but that one's a fluke because I just think there was too many things going on in that game where they had too many things. I just don't think this is their year yet. Maybe next year, but something just seems a little bit off. And if this game they start clicking, then sure, it'd be great momentum.
I'll tell you what's off. They got the worst coach in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, he could be up there. I mean,
That's playoffs. Talk about a guy that's going to be under the microscope in the playoffs.
Who knows? As long as he keeps listening to Jerry Jones, he's going to keep his job. I wish Jerry Jones would step aside and let his son run it, because his son runs the personnel department, and they're doing a great job. But it's not
These
translating
guys
over
are
to everything.
egomaniacs. You're never going to see that, I don't think.
Okay, are we doing the picks this week, Birdman?
I'll tell you what. Well, you want to do the whole thing here.
What time are we looking at anyway?
it is 6:09.
6:10.
So
How about I give you 5? We do 5 games that are
that
relevant.
works.
five
works.
games that are
Week
over,
instead
yeah. Okay.
We'll go. I'll give you the 5 games,
Yeah.
and then we can. First game that's very relevant that jumps out at me is. All right, let's go. This like New England minus 6.5 at Miami. We just discussed that.
Pats.
Give me the points at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the points at home also. Pittsburgh or Baltimore, both teams are still alive. Baltimore,
What's the point?
I'm ride and die with Big Ben.
5.5.
Ride and die with Big Ben.
Baltimore minus 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh. That's too many points.
And we don't know Lamar's playing.
So he still didn't practice Wednesday.
I don't care. If they get that little backup playing quarterback.
If Lamar hasn't practiced since Wednesday, so
McKinley's not bad for the Ravens. Is it McKinley?
It's
or
Huntley. Huntley's the one, but yeah,
I love Huntley.
But what's his name? Lamar hasn't practiced Wednesday. Harbaugh doesn't want to talk about it. He says, I don't think there's value in it.
I like the Steelers at home, but I don't like them on the road. I'd go Baltimore. New Orleans minus 4.5 at Atlanta, and everything on the riding for the Saints here.
Give me Atlanta at home, please. I'll take that one.
I agree.
Yeah, it's hard to lay 4.5 on the road.
Seattle and Arizona 6.5.
I like Arizona. I'd lay the 6.5.
I like the Seahawks.
I like Arizona.
Ride.
San Fran at the Rams 4.5.
Love, absolutely love. There's gold in them downhills. 49ers, baby.
Really? Give me the Rams.
The Rams right now seem to be like they're hitting their stride. I'm gonna take the Rams, and the game of the week.
I want them both to lose.
Los Angeles / San Diego Chargers -3 at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Raiders, tough team. They find a way.
They're getting the stud tight end Waller back this week also.
I'm going the Raiders in memory of John Madden, baby. Rest in peace.
I'll take the Raiders.
Riley?
I'll take the Raiders.
Say that again. Can we get this on tape again?
I don't know. You heard it here.
The Raiders.
Do you want a couple of quick trivia or no?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. The name of this trivia is called...
No, we got MVP offense, MVP defense.
All right.
MVP offense to me, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
That's not
Unanimous?
Even, not even
Universe?
a question, yeah.
Unanimous. All right.
MVP defense.
To me, this has to be unanimous. Has to be TJ Watt. He's going to break the sacks record with only playing 15 games.
Not for me, it ain't going to be.
He has 14 games, 21.5 sacks, which is he 1 sack away from breaking the record in 14 games. To me, that's just mind blowing. I'm going with TJ Watt.
You know what? I didn't really think about TJ Watt until you mentioned that. And me saying this is like you with the Raiders. You look at the Cowboys this year; they got 2 guys that you could put in that category.
I'm going for Mika Parsons.
Mika Parsons
That's what I'm going for.
He's going to win.
And it's
for
tough
what,
to
though?
do it as a rookie.
Impactful plays.
Yeah, but TJ Watt, I think TJ Watt's done the same. And for Parsons, I think he has better. Look at his numbers. He has right around the same tackles and more sacks, and he's going to break the sack record. For me, to break the sack record in that little games could even throw him, in my opinion, in the MVP conversation of the whole league, not even just Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think he'll win it, but that's such a crazy thing to do. Like, everyone's like, oh, he played 17 games. He's going to play less than 16 games and break the record. Exactly. That's why, to me, it's crazy. Parsons is really, really good, but I think he wins Rookie of the Year. I think that one's a no-brainer. Defensive Rookie of the Year for him.
Birdie, Rookie of the Year, AFC.
Defense? Or offense?
I'm going with Mac 10.
Jamar Chase for me.
Yeah, well, they're going to probably give it to Mac 10 because
he's not the favorite.
Yeah, but it's usually a quarterback. I like the kid Chase, what he's been doing in the last few weeks. But I think
if Mac Jones plays well in Miami, you think the Rookie of the Year could be swayed if he goes to Miami and has a big game? I think it could.
It could, but see, the thing that hurt Mac was the game in Buffalo where he did not throw the ball at all, and then the 2 games after that, or the next game in Indy after that, where he.
Yeah.
And Chase just broke the record for the most receiving yards in NFL history by a rookie as well.
He plays for the
Bengals, yes. Yes, I'll take Chase.
Rookie of the Year, NFC.
Offense?
Oh, it's Micah Parsons, Rookie of the Year. Not even a question mark on that.
It's gotta be Parsons.
Offense.
What, NFC?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, you'd have to.
That's a rough one.
Who are we looking at? I mean, I got a guy. The wide receiver from Alabama that went to the Eagles.
Oh yeah, Devonta
Smith. Yeah,
that could be it. Yeah, that's not a bad one.
Maybe him. Maybe I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head.
It has to be him, Devonta Smith. Yeah.
Coach of the Year in the National Football League, ladies and gentlemen.
Bill Belichick. For me.
If Miami didn't lose the past week, I would have put Flores in there, but that was a rough.
I'm going for the guy from the Bengals, man.
I was gonna say him, but I just think Belichick, like, turn around that team like that, almost getting they could still get the number 1 seed. And to me, that has to be him. But I love the Bengals pick. That pick is amazing. I mean, that coach is what he did to that team. That's awesome.
Yeah, Belichick's got enough of them. Spread it around. Spread the wealth around.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. What you said with Zach Taylor. Is that his name?
Going against that losing culture is
Yeah.
hard to do. You got
Trivia.
a trivia question?
All right, little trivia game here, real quick. You've heard of The Last Dance with Michael Jordan.
Yep.
The name of this trivia is called The Last Time. So I'm going to give you a team, and this is like 5 parts to this when I give you the team, that the last time they were in the Super Bowl, you tell me the season, which like the 85 Bears were the 85 Bears, even though they won the Super Bowl in 86 by
I know what you mean.
1985.
Yep, we get it.
So you tell me the opponent, if you can give me the score and the location of the Super Bowl.
What?
Are we good to go?
Yes, I'm good to go. Yes.
You get 5 parts for each team.
I like
give
this.
you.
I like this.
Okay, so we're flipping a coin. Who's going? No,
Who's
no.
that guy?
If you can't,
We just
answer,
buzz in. Buzz
then
in.
it goes to the next guy.
We'll buzz in. We'll buzz in.
Okay, last time the Buffalo Bills were in the Super Bowl. Year? Anybody guess?
97. 97.
Nope. Opponent.
90, Dallas Cowboys.
That's one.
98.
No.
93.
93.
Score?
They got blown out.
40 something to 10.
30 to 13. Location?
Oh, that was in Florida. Miami.
No.
Riley. California.
Georgia Dome, Atlanta.
Okay.
Mikey 1, Riley nothing.
All right.
Number 2, last time the Baltimore / Indianapolis Colts were in the Super Bowl.
2009.
1-1.
I got the next part too. They played the Saints.
2-1.
It
Score.
was in Miami.
Score.
Ah,
And
it wasn't.
score or location.
13-9 or something
No,
like
no,
that.
no. It was by 10, I believe, right? Or around 11 or 12, around there.
The play was the onside kick.
Bingo.
No, but the thing that swayed it was the pick 6 by Manning.
14-point spread.
Spread or like total end?
No, it was a spread.
14-point total final score.
24 to 10.
31-17.
Okay.
Location?
I said Miami, but it was
The
wrong.
University of Phoenix, Glendale.
Okay.
Number 3. Last time the Houston Oilers / Tennessee Titans were in the Super Bowl.
2001.
Incorrect.
Damn it. 2000.
1999.
I knew it was right around there.
Opponent.
They lost to the Rams.
Correct. Came down to a
Last play.
last
1 yard.
play. What was the,
So 1
what
yard.
was the score?
I don't know the score.
21-17,
23-16. Location of the game.
New Orleans.
Georgia Dome, Atlanta. Number 4. Last time. Seattle Seahawks.
2015.
Incorrect.
I gave you the year.
2014.
Correct.
Yeah, one off.
Opponent.
The Patriots.
Patriots.
I was a given.
Correct. Final score.
28-32.
Incorrect.
It's right around-
You got half of it right.
It's 28-24 then.
No, 28-24.
Yeah.
I knew someone at 28.
Location of the game.
I don't know. That's a good one.
Minnesota.
Incorrect.
Where?
University of Phoenix, Glendale.
Again, wow.
Yeah. Number 5. The old Cleveland Browns / Baltimore Ravens last Super Bowl.
So the Ravens
2001?
Super Bowl or the Browns Super Bowl, Birdie.
The Baltimore Ravens, who were
2001?
old
Yeah.
Cleveland
2001?
Browns. Incorrect.
I don't know.
2012.
Oh, 2012? Oh, they played
2012.
the 49ers.
That's correct.
It was in not MetLife. Hold on, give me a second. It was an inside place, right?
Do you remember a famous incident that happened during the Super
Minnesota, right?
Bowl? Or the lights went out for about an
Yeah.
hour?
Yeah.
Or what stadium was that in? Wasn't Minnesota.
Where?
Superdome in New Orleans. You don't remember that?
What about was
Came
it
down. That another game that came down to last play.
29-34?
Kaepernick, remember?
29-34? Was it?
34-31.
I was right there.
All right, and last one. Oakland / Los Angeles / Las Vegas Raiders.
I got it.
Last time.
2002
Correct. Opponent.
against the Buccaneers.
Correct. Score.
40 something to 10.
Yeah, we got blown out.
48-21. Last and location.
Florida.
No.
Rose Bowl.
No.
Where?
It was outdoors.
Jack Murphy / Qualcomm Stadium, San Diego.
And that's a wrap. BadCatz Sportscast. We'll see you on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Peace.